This is, you'll see the tag says, "It's my baby."
It took several decades for David Dennis to fulfill his teenage dream of owning a '62 Corvette. So it's little wonder he would tag it with a "My Baby" plate. In between the birth of his Corvette dream and its fulfillment, he's had a 29-year storied Air Force career, teaching career, serving on the State Board of Education and Sedgwick County Commission, with volunteer work throughout.
I was born in Great Bend, Kansas in 1946.
After graduating from Great Bend High, Dennis says he wasn't certain what he wanted to do next. But the Vietnam War was heating up, and like so many teens at that time, he wasn't thrilled about going to Vietnam.
So I decided probably best if I went to college and see if the war would be over in 4 years.
He enrolled in Fort Hays State University, hoping to delay being drafted while getting a higher education.
I was hoping that at the end of 4 years, the Vietnam War would be over.
Well, it wasn't. The draft board sent Dennis a notice to get a pre-induction physical before he graduated college.
I knew I was getting drafted at that point in time.
Dennis enlisted in the Air Force with no intention of making it a career. Later, a Staff Sergeant Dennis considered getting out, but instead got accepted in an officer training program. Now an officer, Dennis became a combat targeting team chief of 150 Minuteman missiles at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri.
We targeted every one of those 150 missiles. That was our job. And we had to have an officer on the team because we carried the launch code.
Dennis, now a captain, trained to be a missile launch commander, which meant working 60 feet below the surface at a silo launch site.
And operations mean you set in a hole 60 feet underground behind two 20-ton blast doors, and you can launch the missiles.
Dennis continued to get promotions and being called upon to evaluate combat missile crews. During the Reagan administration, the president wanted answers to the nuclear war survivability question.
Well, nobody had a good answer to that. So they put me in charge of a brand new department called survivability. And my job was to figure out how that we survive our planning capability, survive a nuclear war.
Dennis went from targeting the former Soviet Union with missiles he oversaw to overseeing the destruction of nuclear weapons under the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, known as START.
So I worked in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Belarus for 3 years and got to know the people that I was actually targeting.
Once Dennis retired from the Air Force, he renewed his teaching certificate. He taught at Wichita's North High School for 11 years. He was elected to the State Board of Education for 4 years. He's been a Sedgwick County Commissioner for 9 years. And in between work hours, he's volunteered for veterans activities, Boy Scouts, education functions, and more.
And I was really shocked when I got the letter from Victor recently that said that I was one of the ones selected.
And so we salute retired Colonel David Dennis for his Air Force service and post-military work with the Distinguished Veteran Service Award. This is Chris Frank reporting.